This season of the Challenge USA pitted MTV Challenge veterans against CBS reality titans, and this time around it was the CBS folks who pulled out the victory. So joining me now are the winners of this season, Desi and Chris. Congratulations to the both of you. How are you feeling after your big win?
Oh man, it's such a great feeling. I think obviously we've known the outcome for a long time, but it's a huge secret that we've been keeping from the rest of the world. So it's kind of, on one hand, like a weight lifted off your shoulders. You can finally talk about it. On the other hand, it's like we're also $250,000 richer, which is exciting.
Yes, Chris, what
That's
would you
right.
add to that?
I got the money in the bank, family. We were all celebrating last night. I tried my best not to spoil the outcome. So we all watched it, friends and family together, and it was electric. It was so fun watching it last night. So I'm stoked.
Yes, I can only imagine. Again, congrats to you both. Now, I feel like you both kind of had something to prove in a way. So, Chris, a lot of viewers, as you mentioned in last night's episode, feel you were maybe undeserving of your Survivor win. And Desi, you were cheated out of the final win last year due to your partner in the final. So, what does it mean to you to come back on a CBS show and be able to kind of really prove this and then ultimately win?
So I definitely came in with a chip on my shoulder, going from, the Survivor experience that I had and winning and being the most undeserving winner, kind of wearing that and then coming out of retirement. I had a lot to prove. And as the season progressed and it just got harder and I found myself in the elimination more often and more often, that chip just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So to come out with the win in the end, the way that it all unfolded, it was magical. It was special. I'm like super proud and over the moon about how everything turned out.
Yeah, absolutely. Desi?
Yeah, and obviously the way season one ended for me, my partner quit. It ruined my entire game. And I feel like, I had sort of built my confidence all season long to make it to the final and then have it ripped from underneath me. So it was awesome to go back and first of all make it to a final. So I know that making it to a final wasn't just a fluke. But then to prove to myself that like I could actually win. And then I felt like I could have won last season, but of course we'll never know. But to come back and actually take home the win just makes all of those tears and slobber that I had on television last year totally worth it.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I want to get into both of your gameplays this season. So, Chris, let's start with you. We see that you really had to fight tooth and nail all season long, went into multiple eliminations, and really didn't seem like you had a whole lot of allies. So, tell me about your gameplay and having to fight in all of those eliminations.
Yeah, in the very beginning of the game, I took a risk in kind of siding with playing the middle, I guess, so to speak. If it works, it works out really well, and if that unfolds, you're kind of isolated and left on an island. My biggest allies were on the guy's side. Probably was Josh. He was playing the middle, had ties to the vets, had ties to Big Brothers. Michelle had ties to the vets, had ties to Survivor. Desi was another one that I was looking out for. And then as it kind of, I'm not very good at lying. I'm not the best at the politicking, so to speak. So they're like, Chris, something's fishy going on with Chris, and I was just like trying to tell my allies, please help me. Like we're all in this together. I'm with y'all. Like what do we do? But I just had to realize that I had to earn it in the sand, and I was going to keep going in and in. The only way to get to the end was to win eliminations and win daily challenges. So it's much more suited. My strategy was much more suited for the challenge than for Survivor. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And obviously, you proved to be a beast, so congrats on that. Now, Desi, on the flip side of kind of Chris's gameplay, you had a pretty successful season, I would say, overall. Only saw one elimination, which you obviously won, as well as you were really well aligned, especially with the females this season. So tell me about your gameplay and also how it compared to your experience on season one.
Yeah, I mean, for me this season, it was like, how can I make it to the final? So of course, I was targeting vets very early on, and that was very clear that we were targeting the vets. But when the game changed, I had to change my game along with it and start to align, obviously, with Tori and Bananas and some of the other vets. But my main goal, I think, my main goal and my main alliance, which, Michaela, Chanel, and then as Chris said, Chris was in my alliance from the beginning as well, but kind of like a side secret alliance.
Sure.
But it was like, let's just make it to the end, like by any means necessary, make it to the end, and we'll duke it out when we get there. So I definitely played like I think a much safer game than Chris in many ways. Like I had my alliances, I stayed loyal to them, and it got me to the end with those exact alliances.
Yeah, exactly. Well, regardless, you both made it to the end, so obviously both of your gameplays worked out for you. Now, Desi, you just teased this a little bit, but I want to know both your thoughts on the addition of the MTV cast to the Challenge USA this season.
I will say, in comparison to season 1, this season was way more fun socially.
Okay.
So it was definitely a more intense social game. But outside of the game, when you're just hanging out in the house, getting to know people, like having fun on our nights out, we had so much fun with this group. It was like we would go at each other in the game all week long, and then it's the weekend, and we're like, all right, kumbaya, we're all friends, we're gonna hang out and have a good time. So the addition of the MTV vets, I think, completely changed the mood in the house. It turned up the gameplay, but it also turned up the fun. So you had to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, anything to add to that?
Desi said it perfect. I mean, it was that crew was rowdy, was loud, was obnoxious, and we saw it in gameplay. We saw it outside of gameplay. A lot of them, are friends of ours now. So it worked out great. We had the chemistry with everyone was just, it made for an awesome TV show, and I think people can see it through the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say from a viewer's standpoint, I think season 2 came off a lot stronger and a lot more exciting than season 1. Now, I'm curious from both of you, what's something maybe you feel like you learned about yourself while filming this season? That could be personally, competitively, however you want to view that.
Yeah, I think what I've learned, I mean, not necessarily what I've learned, but it's just affirmations. Like I got the dog in me. Like when it comes down to it, my back's against the wall. I figure out a way to get the job done and kind of like tap into a little bit of a, deep, dark, savage mode. And I get locked in and laser focused on what my goals are. So that can translate into a lot of things outside of, playing this game. So I think that was just confirmation for me that I'm definitely an underdog at heart and always will be.
Yeah, absolutely. Desi?
Yeah, I think leaning into positive affirmations is something that Chris and I both shared, but actually didn't know until after the game. I had a list of positive affirmations I said every single day while in the challenge house. And you read that like positive affirmations make a difference and it can change your mindset. But this was the first time I actually saw it play out. That if I just stay in control of my mindset, I can stay in control of my game, I can stay in control of my life. And that is something that certainly is going to translate, at least I hope so, outside of this game. It was successful in the game, so hopefully it's successful in my life. I'm manifesting 7 figures next time. So.
That's right. Well, I love that for both of you. Now, I'm curious to know as well, obviously you both just won some money after winning this season. So do you have any specific plans for the earnings?
Oh man, I'm gonna try to save as much as I can, but I am also planning a wedding, so that's a very expensive undertaking. Thank you. So we'll see. I need a new laptop. This laptop is giving me trouble, so I'm gonna make 1 or 2 big purchases and then save the rest.
Smart, Chris.
I love investing. I love real estate. So we're probably gonna buy. We've been talking about buying some land here in South Carolina for a while. It's awesome that this kind of happened because we have a down payment to put down on potentially building a home for my family and future kids and all. I come from a big family, so we want to build a house that everyone can come to every year and just celebrate family.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like you both have some big plans for that money you just won. Okay, final question for the both of you. If the Challenge USA is to return for season 3, can the viewers expect you back on our screens?
I think that's the toughest question all day. It's tough. Everything would have to align. Obviously, I'm getting married, so I'm changing into that phase of my life. I own a business, so I do have to leave a business to go play this game. So the stars would have to align, but I won't say no.
Okay, Chris?
I will probably say no. You probably will not see me on the next season of the Challenge USA. But I never say never. It's again, the stars have to align. I'm sacrificing a lot every time we go out. Just have a lot of things going on in my real life.
Yes.
So it would really have to make sense. But I'm not going to say you'll never see me again. Just likelihood of being on season 3 is low.
Okay, well, I appreciate the honesty from you both. You guys, thank you for an excellent season. Congrats on your gameplay and congrats on being the winners of the Challenge USA Season 2. We'll see you next time.